Now, I think it's safe to say that we never want to see a character we love die in a movie. We want them to triumph and make it through the horror unscathed. However, that is not always the case for some of horror movies' most famous characters, with many meeting quite a grisly end. These are the top 5 worst horror movie death scenes. Let's jump in. Forewarning, this is a movie all about movie deaths. There will be a lot of spoilers, so don't yell at me. So many spoilers, I'm gonna ruin all these movies for you. Enjoy. Coming in at number 5 we have Jaws, the opening scene. Perhaps one of the most iconic opening scenes in cinematic history and one of the most disturbing, Jaws is an absolute classic. And this particular death scene is one that I can never get out of my head even if I tried. Released in 1975 and directed by Steven Spielberg, Jaws is based on the 1974 novel of the same name and tells the story of a man-eating great white shark who begins attacking beachgoers, resulting in Police Chief Martin Brody hunting it down with the help of a marine biologist and a professional shark hunter. Jaws is a classic and is the movie that sparked people's universal fear of sharks and open water, with the possibility of a shark attack occurring at any moment. Now, the movie's opening most certainly sets the tone for the rest of the movie to come, with it completely shocking audiences in the process and scarring the minds of many for years to come. Jaws opens at a beach party on Amity Island in the evening, with a young woman, Chrissy, running off to go skinny dipping with a guy. However, while she is treading water, she is violently pulled under by an unseen force. But we know at this point it's a shark. She is whipped around, screaming out for help, gurgling and trying to stay above water. However, not long after, she disappears below the surface and out of sight. That is until her remains are discovered on the beach the next day. It's a violent and upsetting scene, informing us that this shark is ruthless and will attack at any time, any place, and will kill you. Just don't go in the water. Sharks will eat you wherever you go, even in swimming pools. Those are facts. Coming in at number 4, Suspiria, Olga's Death. Now, I'm specifically talking about the 2018 version, and not the superior 1977 movie, unfortunately. While I thought the 2018 remake was okay, nothing will ever top the greatness that was Dario Argento's eerie supernatural horror. Anyway, moving on, released in 2018 and directed by Luca Guadagnino, Suspiria stars Dakota Johnson as Susie Banyan, an American dancer who enrolls in a prestigious academy in Germany, which is revealed to be run by a coven of witches. Now, while I believe the 2018 version doesn't come close to even touching Dario Argento's masterful work, it is still very well directed with a great cast. It's eerie, unsettling, with you left with the feeling that something just isn't quite right. It's incredibly dark, giving you no time at all to settle in, and to top it all off, it has one of the most disturbing and filthy scenes in cinematic history, that being the death of Olga. Olga is one of the first students to accuse the matrons of witchcraft, resulting in her becoming trapped in a room while Susie performs a dance for Madame Blanc, played by Tilda Swinton, who is amazing in this movie. However, witchcraft is at play in this scene, with Susie's movement inflicting harm upon Olga, resulting in her body contorting, her bones breaking, and her becoming completely mangled before being dragged away with large hooks by the other matrons. It's a hellish sequence showcasing early on what the witches at the academy are capable of, and what lengths they will go to remain hidden. Poor Olga, she deserved so much better. RIP. Before we jump into number 3, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot, and it just shows me that you love me, and I need validation. In at number 3 we have Hereditary, The Pole. I mean, of course, this death shocked almost every single person who saw Hereditary. It still shocks me now. Released in 2018 and directed by Ari Aster, Hereditary stars Toni Collette, Alex Wolff, Millie Shapiro, and Gabriel Byrne, and follows a family haunted by a mysterious presence following the death of their secretive grandmother. Now, the movie is incredibly tense and uneasy, with you feeling quite constricted, almost that you can't breathe. It's a slow burn, but at the same time, so much happens that you can't quite keep up with. Throughout the movie, it is revealed that a darker force may have latched itself onto the family through the grandmother, and it is being passed on to the daughter and then to the son. But what exactly is the dark force? Could it in fact be the evil demon Payment? Perhaps, but I don't want to ruin the entire movie for you. However, what I am allowed to ruin is one particular death, the death of Charlie, the daughter. Now, Charlie is incredibly reserved, staying away from most people and hiding out in her room where she exhibits strange behaviors. And following the passing of the grandmother who played a large part in raising Charlie, she begins to retreat more. So on one particular night when the son Peter was heading to a party, his parents forced him to take Charlie along as well. Now this is where everything spirals out of control. After having a reaction to nuts, Charlie begins to go into anaphylactic shock, forcing Peter to speed down the road trying to get her to safety. But safety never comes, because as Charlie opens the window of the car to get air and stick her head out, a deer runs right across the road. The car swerves and Charlie's head collides with a pole, decapitating her immediately. It's all very sudden, leaving you short breath and at a loss for words. It's one moment that no one saw coming, that's for sure. Sucks. Heads will roll. And that they did. Coming in at number 2, Final Destination 2, The Pipe and the Fence. Perhaps the most jarring moment on our entire list, Final Destination 2 isn't anything to write home about, but this scene definitely had people talking. Released in 2003 and directed by David R. Ellis, Final Destination is a supernatural horror movie starring the likes of Ali Larter, AJ Cook, and Michael Landis. The film is the second installment in the Final Destination series, which of course is a franchise that centers around different groups of people who escape impending death when one individual has a premonition about the accident to come. Then what always happens is they try to warn everyone of what is to come. Some listen, some don't, some live, some die. The ones who survive the accident then begin to die in the order they were supposed to die in the original accident. However, they can avoid death, but if they do, it'll skip to the next person before working its way right back to them. Now, the death always seemed to occur in very strange ways, whether it be the person going about a regular mundane task only for something terrifying to happen, such as you're brushing your teeth and then you fall in the bathtub and die. Going to a tanning bed only for something to fall and trap you in there and then you burn to death. Burn to a crisp. Anyway, the particular death I'm discussing is the one that occurs in Final Destination 2 towards the end of the movie. Now, in this particular scene, a group of survivors trying to cheat death are involved in an accident that sees them swerving off the road and crashing into a pile of PVC pipes that shoot through the windshield, narrowly avoiding the passengers except one. The person in the front seat, Kat, narrowly avoids death with one pipe shooting through the headrest. However, when emergency services arrive, they try to free her from the car, but while doing so, they accidentally aggravate the airbag, which releases, shoving Kat's head into the pole and killing her instantly. It's like this. There's the pole, that's her head. The cigarette she was smoking then drops onto the gasoline and explodes the car, launching barbed wire into the air that goes on to dismember one of the other passengers. It's all sudden, very shocking, and very violent, and I love it. And finally, coming in at number 1, Psycho, the shower scene. Now, while it may seem like the obvious choice, sometimes the obvious choice are the best choices. Released in 1960 and directed by Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho stars the likes of Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates and Janet Leigh as Marion Crane. Crane is an embezzler on the run who hides in an isolated motel run by the shy owner Norman Bates. However, Norman isn't as sweet and innocent as he initially appears to be, but that we don't learn until later on in the movie. What we are told though is that Norman's mother lives in the home up the hill from the motel, and she doesn't seem to be particularly happy that Marion is there. Now, the movie dupes us early on. We're led to believe that Marion is the protagonist and that we'll be following her over the course of the movie. However, a major plot twist occurs when Marion is taking a shower in her hotel room, only for a shadowy figure who appears to be a woman pulls back the shower curtains and stabs Marion to death. I didn't need to show that. Now, this moment was very shocking but so pivotal, and is perhaps one of the best known scenes in cinematic history. At the time of the release, this type of scene was so unprecedented, resulting in many audience members being completely traumatized. Janet Leigh was deeply impacted by it as well, refusing to take showers afterwards unless she absolutely had to. Now, despite the scene being incredibly graphic, there was actually never a puncture wound shown on screen. It's amazing what lighting can do to trick our minds. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any horror movie deaths that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scariest horror monsters in literature. Blue Dog 79 said, can we all agree that the best woman in black is Lucy? Actually, it's very funny. I didn't dress up for this occasion, but I am wearing all black today. It's a vibe, it's a mood. It is what it is. I am the woman in black. If you look at me, I will kill you. Mark Lopez said, I would have added the demon Pazuzu from the Exorcist novel to the list. Well, What you do, I don't do. But you are right, if we do a part 2, I would probably add it as well, but no spoilers, but maybe, we'll see. Just keep watching. Brittany Stafford said everyone knows that Keegan is Queen Lucy's minion, created by her to do her bidding. Preach. That's why you haven't seen Keegan in a very long time. Where is he? He's my minion. He's in the basement, locked up, chained up, until I set him free to go run rampant and kill some more souls, you know? Facts. Kirk Morrison said, Lucy, you look like Veronica Lake today. The Woman in Black flipped me out when I read it in the early 1990s. I was familiar with Veronica Lake, didn't know what she looked like, looked her up, she didn't look like me, but thank you for thinking that she did. Very beautiful, doesn't look like me, but thank you. Also, yes, The Woman in Black is terrifying, creeps me out, still creeps me out. The play version, horrific. The 1980s version, horrific. Daniel Radcliffe one, piece of shit. Jared Devil Dog said, I can't help but think this host is not a very friendly girl. You're wrong. I'm really nice. Maybe I'm too nice. Chris, I'm lovely.
Absolutely.
Got a gun to his head. No, I am genuinely nice. This is all a persona, but I can't give that away. Look, I've got many different personalities. Undiagnosed. I'm lovely. When I want to be. Charles Snow said, thank you for the video, great choices. Question, what's your favorite story / novel? I've said it once, I'll say it again, The Troop. The best book, horror book I've read in a very long time. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you later. Now, my butt is vibrating, and not in a pleasant way. No, it's okay, I can respond to this. Now, okay, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Just, no, keep it going. I'm just gonna put it here because I can hear it vibrating. I'll be right back. But we know at this point it's a shark. Okay, why am I so dramatic about that? Guadagnino. Let's just say that. Oh, I forgot to do the hey, like this video. I'll do it in between 3. Now's the time. I inserted a clip. Don't think you can use it. But I've just, you know, given you an example of the vibe. That's what happens. That's a head. It's actually really funny. Calm down, Lucy.